coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming.
Yo, 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 this is your boy Rodimus Prime 35, aka Scotty to the T, and we are chilling and marinating like we always do. Yeah, man, this is going to be a special video for me. This is the video that we're going to do that I'm going to dedicate to my friend, my cousin, my mentor, my teacher who showed me the way of a lot of things, Brian Winton. And we're going to talk about the movie that we used to watch. It's Street Fighter 2, the movie. And we're going to talk about a lot of this, you know, between me and my cousin about this movie and when this movie first started, when it first came out. For starters, we didn't DVDs never came out yet. DVDs never came out. And to that point, we pretty much just I think we bought the movie on the VHS. It was on well, I guess he bought it on the VHS tape, and we started looking through stuff, and we look at it all the time. I mean, you know, between you know, Ryu and Ken and Sagat and Chun-Li, you know, all the rest of those other characters in the movie. But this movie was one of the bestest ones. I think, you know, way better than that USA Street Fighter. Oh my goodness. That right there was so crappy. It sucked. it sucked. But my cousin had bought this at a video store. No, take that back. He rented it when it first came out on VHS tape. So, you know, after that we started buying it, and he liked it, so he went and bought it. And then I would make a copy, and I used to make dubs out of it, because, you know, back in the day, you know, when old school, we used to have, you know, VCRs together, and we just dub it and have on copy, because, you know, with DVDs you can't fly through it. You know, with tapes you have to let it play till you can pretty much do it. So, you know, I'm old school fashion. But yeah, man, I mean, watching this anime movie was the bomb. I mean, we loved it, you know. I mean, the characters was right, the story fits in perfectly. You know, pretty much when the episode when Bison sent out these Terminators to pretty much to find the best fighters out there. Most of the journey he was pretty much looking for Ryu, because Ryu beat Sagat, and he was pretty much wanting him to join his army. Well, at the same time, you know, we looked at it, we're thinking, okay, that didn't happen, so he found Ken instead. You know, between, you know, Chun-Li, you know, still, I mean, the story still goes on, you know, like I say, you know, that Chun-Li, you know, Bison pretty much, you know, killed his dad, and then you have Bison killed Charlie, or Nash, how you say it in Japanese version, they guess they call him Nash, Charlie Nash or something like that. But yeah, I mean, you know, the story pretty much went on. I mean, it was one of the epic's best movies of all time, and I still watch it now to this day. And after to now, we was looking through the anime story, because, you know, the VHS tape, the VCR tapes, they have to make everything clean. And I remember watching this before. This picture got violence. I mean, you got violence and you got nudity, and you know, because at first I didn't even know, you know, because with the VHS tape they're gonna edit a lot of things, just like my other video I talked about with Transformers the movie. You know, when they took Spike, when, you know, he pretty much said, you know, oh crap, you know, what are we gonna do? And then when the DVD came out, with the original version of the movie came out, was holy shit, what we gonna do now? So they put the uncut together, and watching this movie, there was a lot of stuff that was in there. When Ryu did a Shoryuken to Sagat, you know, when it ripped up his chest, I mean, it was bloody, you know, and then you had a couple of bloody scenes, and plus on top of that, you had Chun-Li in the shower scene in her apartment. So they didn't show nudity in that. I think the only thing they showed on the VHS tape, they just cut it out. So they just show parts of her boobs. Now in the uncut version, oh, you seeing boobs and all. So but what they did was they kind of put the violence into that because like I say, you got to make it work, man. I mean, even though you're doing it for the kiddies, you got to cut some editing parts with the kiddies, so you don't want to make it bad because it may not sell. Kids may not be able to see because their family would not tolerate that, to see that. But I didn't know that first when I first was looking at it, and I kept going through it, looking at it over again, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't remember this on the tape. I never thought about it. So they kind of tweaked a little bit out of that and made so many pictures onto it. So they added so many things. They put the uncut with the director's cut, and so I had bought the DVD, and it shows the whole thing, blood and all, cussing because DJ, because pretty much one scene, because I think when God went to meet him to see, Shada Law was looking for him, and his word was different phrases, words, different words, bad words, but other than all, man, I mean, like, me and my cousin, we enjoyed this movie, and I mean, it was just like, we'll sit there and we'll eat, we'll sit and watch this whole movie, because like I say, we were Street Fighter fans, and plus, we were Street Fighter gamers, and we love Street Fighter. When Street Fighter came out on the Super NES, and we wore it out, and we played so much of this, and like I say, there's tons of these videos that I want to share with you guys, because with the Fatal Furies, like I say, there's a lot more on that one, and also Street Fighter 2V. So we got plenty to cover, but my first concern is mostly covering this one, and this one's one of the first that we seen that he had on VHS tape, and once he went and rented it, he loved it. After he died, he bought it because back then that's when we had Blockbusters and we had all sorts of video stores way back in the day. I ain't gonna lie, man, video stores was it, because I remember every Friday night when I get off from work, I'm going, if it's Blockbusters or Silver Screen or if it's Hollywood, you name it, it's going down. I mean, we'll rent at least about 2-3 movies to watch. Man, good times, man, good times. I mean, because we rented a lot of movies that we pretty much did, and between this one and there's a couple other movies that we kind of pretty much did. But as of me and him, as pretty much as gamers, pretty much everybody were, his brother was a gamer, Courtney, he was a gamer. My friend Juan, he was a gamer. We was all in that point that we all played games together, and Street Fighter was like one of the bestest ones. And when we went to his apartment, and he had, like, I think I was still going to, well, let me see. Yeah, I was still in, I think it was, that was an had to be in elementary. I was in elementary school. Still elementary school, and we had people will come into his apartment, which that was good times. He had people that will come into his apartment with these kids, and it'd be a whole bunch of kids at his apartment, and he'll be there, and we will have tournaments. I mean, that was, to us, was like a China fair for us, because we had competitions, we had people coming over, we had rivalries. I mean, we had people that we challenged together as these kids, and we was one of those kids that pretty much challenged, like, we'll say, well, this dude was the better, this guy the best, I can beat this dude, or I can use Guile and master him. Because like I say, my cousin was always using Guile, master him. He will master him. That was his dude. He didn't use like Ryu and Ken like everybody else did. Guile was his dude. And like I say, a lot of people didn't really use Dawson or Zangief, or they may use Blanca because Blanca used that electric stuff. But yeah, but once they started, we started having rivalries, and we started doing so much stuff that we used to do. Man, it was it was fun, because like I say, we, yeah, we got mad a few times. We lose a couple of battles. We pass the controller to whoever, then, they go to a battle. And like I say, pretty much the way we did it was how does it work? We'll have a battle to have, two people play, together. And if that one lose, one dude have to give that controller up. The other dude continue to keep playing. He the champion, so he'll just keep going and going and going, and that's the way we did it. And man, it was so much fun. Like, we didn't get mad, we didn't have arguments, we didn't have any fights or anything. It was just pretty much was fun, and we had so much fun playing these wonderful fighting games. And Street Fighter was the legend of the fighting game community. Now Street Fighter 1 didn't really count. I don't know what that was. But I guess it was a classic back then. Like I say, if you watch the movie Juice, and they had the arcade playing the very first Street Fighter, and like I say, that game was pretty hard, because you couldn't even do a fireball for nothing. You had to like figure something out to make it work, or the Shoryuken, or the tornado kick. It was the same thing. You had to learn how to do that. But when Street Fighter 2 came out, it changed the game. We all just pretty much we had fun, we had challenges, and then after that, when the arcade came out, oh, it was on. The arcade way back in the day. You got people coming in the arcade machines. Then what you do, you put that quarter down, because you're the next person that's gonna be when these two play. You put that quarter down, and then you set that quarter right there on that table. Woo, boy, that's some old school times, man. And you just put that quarter down, and you just get ready to have your two dudes right here get ready to play. Man, challenging. And because back in the day in the arcades, in the mall, we had teams, we had rivalries. And we had competitions. And it's just, we want to play to be the best, and that's what we normally used to do. We play the best to be the best, to learn how to play these fighting games. And my cousin showed me how to play. Like, for me to get better as this, we would one day we was in the living room at his house, and I guess he was still in his mom still, and we was all staying with our moms. We were still young, and at the time we was pretty much we'll sit there and he'll say, okay, I want you to use this character, and I want you to try to learn how to master this dude. Okay, he will stick with Gao, no question about it, but he want me to learn how to beat that person, to learn him. So like I say, Ryu and Ken, they got the same technique. It's the same technique. There was times he wanted me to be Guile, and then after that we started to learn how to be in Guile, and I started kind of mastering him a little bit. But like I said, I'm not all mastering with him, but I can still get it. He'll show me a lot. When I remember one day when he showed me, we was playing a game, and I guess he was Balrog. And at the time you hold all those buttons, and you know how he'll do that little move. He'll say 1 or 2. And then when you get ready to hold, you just keep juggling around. And when he do that move, he'll say final. One day he did that. One day, pow! My whole meter was just doing this. It was over. It was over. And I asked him, I say, how did you do that? Like, did you just cheat on that? So it's kind of funny to me, because he started laughing about it. So after he started laughing about it, he thought it was a joke. So then I'm looking around like, how did you do that for real, man? How did you do that? So he showed me. He said, you hold all the buttons, because at the time, Genesis finally came with a 6-button controller, because 6-button controller was the best one to play Street Fighter games, because Genesis only had 3 controllers, A, B, and C. And if you hit the start button, A, B, and C be kick. Hit the start button again, A, B, and C be the punch. That was stupid. So I was kind of happy that Sega pretty much had put out a 6-button controller for these fighting games, because that's what it's meant for. And you don't have to keep doing what you're doing. And the small controllers of the Genesis was nice handle. It was small. I just mixed that texture of that. Hopefully, like I said, I mixed that texture of that. And like I say, when I play these old school games, and it brings back so much memories to play these games with him. And like I say, and he was the teacher he showed me a lot to be the best. There's times, you know, when I play a couple of games online, way back in my old videos, with Marvel versus Street Fighter or something like that. And sometimes I try to play the best because with his teachings, and he showed me a lot. Because Street Fighter 2 was it's legendary to this day. It's the GOAT of fighting games. You know, because we couldn't, you know, compete, you know, between these other fighting games, you know, with Fatal Fury and, you know, and Arts of Fighting, and, you know, but Street Fighter 2 was on its own by itself, and Capcom pretty much delivered that. And then once the games left the cabinets, the arcade cabinets, it was coming to the crib, and you was like, oh snap, here we go. Because, you know, Super Nintendo pretty much came first with the Street Fighter 2, because like I say, you can only, I think it's the War Warriors. You can only pick that when the Super Nintendo came out. And don't get me wrong, Super Nintendo Street Fighter music sounds good. I think it sounds better than Genesis version. That's in my opinion. The Super Nintendo version sounds good. The Guile music, oh my god, it sounds great. The Sagat music sounds great. I mean, I understand Super Nintendo's got that Sony chip, and it just pretty much, all the games on Super Nintendo music sounds good. I mean, it's just, I just don't know what it is about the Super NES. It just sounds good. Genesis, it's alright. It just kind of like a, you know, just kind of like a clunky mono type sound. But when we started playing a lot of stuff on the Super Nintendo version, when the games came out on the Super Nintendo, it was over. And my cousin hit me up. He was like, hey Scott, man, I got Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo, you know. And sometimes I ask my mom, like, hey, can I go over there and play it, you know? And he'll have all these kids that would come in there and challenge, and we would pretty much just be playing and having a great time. And, you know, that's how we got better to challenge people, because, you know, back then we didn't have the multiplayers and the online stuff and the NAP codes and all that stuff that goes on. Pretty much it was just, you came to our house, you come to my house, you come to his house. That's how we play. And, you know, it was fun. And then, you know, everybody's like, man, we need to get a Super Nintendo, because he was like, back in the day, you know, when people, you know, they get the first pair of Jordans, and the Jordans first come out, you already get it. Or because I had a friend once back in elementary school that he would get new pair of Jordans when it come out, he already got it. New Nintendo game, it already come out, he already got it. So, you know, I mean, it was just like with him, you know, he will get the games, like I said, he didn't get it like, you know, boom, 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 you know, like that, you know how it went. But he will also just start buying these games, and, you know, fighting games was our factor, you know. That's what we live for, and I still live fighting games to this day. I just wish they will hopefully make more fighting games that it is. I mean, I understand. I was kind of happy when they redid Killer Instinct. That was a blessing in disguise when they brought that one back. Street Fighter came back a long way, 'cause like I say, they made between two, but it's been Street Fighter 2 just been for so long. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Champs Edition, Street Fighter Hyper, or whatever. Then after a while, it went from Super Street Fighter, but it didn't get upgraded. It was still the same thing. You just changed the name. With the 4 characters that came out, DJ, Cammy, T-Hawk, and Fei Long. So there was only 2, 3, 4 guys that ever came out. So then they started making Street Fighter Hyper, so that means they made it Turbo. And then you had Akuma, who made his appearance into the game. Like, the only time you really see Akuma, if you get ready to face Bison. Now I think you have to put it all the way hard to get to that point. So that means if you put it all the way hard, you're not gonna fight Bison, and then Bison just gonna beat the crap out of him. I mean, no, take that back. Akuma is gonna beat the crap out of Bison. Bison just be laying there flat on his ass, and you're fighting this dude, and you know he pretty much got the same technique as Ryu and Ken, but his move is a little more effective. And the Raging Demon, that was the crazy stuff. Right up until you just getting handled. You can't see it, but you can see the blah, 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 and you just getting out. Back in the day when that move came out, man, that took almost your life. All your energy was pretty much gone. And you know, yeah, man, I mean that was cool. And then after Street Fighter 3 came out, I was at arcades, and it was, again, you know, when we had a mall here, it was called Easttown Mall, Knoxville Center, but it ain't there anymore. But when I first saw Street Fighter 3, it was in a big screen. It was in a big screen, and they had these characters. And I was like, man, when is this game coming out, man? Because we never knew. And the moment the game came out and we knew about it, it came out on the Sega Dreamcast. And I was like, that's what I'm talking. And you know what? As soon as I knew that game was out, they got my money right off the top. And it was the arcade tradition. No loading. It just went far to it. You know, because some games, like, you know, again, with Street Fighter Alpha 2 on the Super Nintendo, it load. I mean, it pretty much had a loading issue. Like, it really load, and like it'll go one part to go to the menu to load, you know. But like an arcade and the Sega Saturn, because my cousin had the Sega Saturn version, but Sega Saturn did load a little bit. It didn't load as much, but it loaded a little bit. But he had the Sega Saturn version, and then after, for a while, he would come to my house because I had Street Fighter Alpha 3 on the PlayStation, because I think he never owned a PlayStation, and then I had it, and I pretty much, he played it and we had a good time with it. That was cool. But yeah, man, I mean, you know, Street Fighter has just been out for so long, and I enjoyed every last minute of the game. You know, we was gamers, and that's how we went from all the way from these fighting games. And then when the movie came out, that was it. That ended right off the back with the movie. And I still watch the movie to this day. The movie will never get old. It will never get old. I mean, the same characters, same moves you see when you playing the video games. I mean, it's still going down, because I was pretty much kind of happy that they finally made this anime movie as part of a game, because we waited for so long to see what they wanted, to see what they can do, and they actually did it. But now I know the movie pretty much came out in Japan, and I know it now. If I went to a theater in Japan, I would probably sit there and have, this is popcorn entertainment. I mean, I would pretty much go in their theaters and just watch it. But you know, the movie never came out in theaters here in the States, so it means we had to pretty much wait for it to came on VHS tape or DVD. But like I say, the VHS tape was kind of confusing, because it would say this is the uncut part or the director's cut. So pretty much they took the blood out, they took the nudity out, they took the cussing out. So that means this is what we give to make it clean, which, you know, gotta protect the kiddies, you know, because they're Street Fighter fans too as well, so we gotta make it clean. Then when the DVD came out, okay, because Japan pretty much already had the nudity right there and the blood into it, probably in the theaters. So, you know, once they did that, it came out on the DVD, and I looked at a couple few scenes, and I was like, wait a minute, this wasn't even in this, and this wasn't even in that. So, you know, but like I say, you'd be surprised of what anime can do, because like I say, anime can get kind of nasty at times, you know, if you can put it together like that. But, you know, me, I love it. I love the mangas. I love anime. I love it all, because when this came out, we had one was manga entertainment, and I got a lot of manga DVDs, and I got a lot of them on tape too as well. It is hard. Wish I could find another VCR, because it's hard to find a VCR these days unless you go somewhere and get a VCR, because like I said, I got tons of anime on tape that I could pretty much watch on VCR, and I miss VCRs to this day. I just wish they would come back, but I doubt it. That's just like you talking about bringing Betamax, you know, that ain't gonna work. So, you know, we got to keep the technology really high. But yeah, man, that's all I really have, you know, because like I say, me and my cousin, we enjoyed watching Street Fighter 2, the movie. Like I say, if anybody can get it, they may have it on different cable providers, or you can pretty much, you know, go to Amazon and see if you can buy it. You know, I recommend it. It's one of the old classics games, because like I say, if you're not a Street Fighter, I prefer you to play the game first to understand watching the movie, so you know the story and everything. But yeah, man, this is one of the bestest anime movies. I just really wish it would have hit the big screen here in the States. You know, I would definitely watch it with a passion. But when my cousin had it on VHS tape, you know, we enjoyed it. It was popcorn entertainment. We watched it. We rented it. It was real cool, and I still enjoy it to this day. And if nobody out there have not seen it, give it a go. I recommend it. You will not be surprised with this movie. This movie is real good with action at its finest. Alrighty, this is your boy RP35 signing out of here. Y'all take care, and y'all have a very, very blessed day. Peace.